What's up, guys? Today school's out. It's summer, so people have a lot of free time. So today I was going to be going through 50 good movies that I think everyone should watch in their lifetime. So Fantastic Mr. Fox is directed by Wes Anderson. It's a claymation film, so it's like animated through clay figures, and it's pretty cool. It has good story, has heart, and it's fun to watch. Isle of Dogs is also directed by Wes Anderson, and it's also a claymation animated film, and also has heart, also fun to watch. Chappaquiddick is a really good movie about John F. Kennedy's brother and an incident he had where he accidentally drove someone into a lake accidentally, and yeah, it's a very interesting story. Awakenings has Robert De Niro and Robin Williams, and it's kind of like more of a hospital drama, but it's really sad. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you'll like it. The Count of Monte Cristo is a movie that's based on a book, which is one of the most famous books of all time. It's a really good revenge story set in like the 18 or 1700s, and it has Henry Cavill, who plays Superman when he was young, so I thought that was funny. But it's a really good revenge story, and it's worth the watch. Dr. Strangelove, or How I Stopped Worrying and Learned to Love the Bomb, is a Cold War kind of comedy that was directed by Stanley Kubrick, the guy who did The Shining. He's a very famous director, and it's hilarious if you're into like satire, and I think it's worth the watch. Vertigo is directed by Alfred Hitchcock, and it's often considered one of the greatest movies of all time. It's a little slow at the beginning, but once it gets going, it gets pretty crazy, and if you can make old movies work, it's a great watch. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is directed by Guy Ritchie, the guy who did the live-action Aladdin remake, and it's a super stylistic, fun Soviet Union U.S. spy drama that really uses music very well. It's very stylish. It's a fun movie. Leave No Trace is a story about a dad and a daughter who decide to live off the grid in Oregon, and what happens to them when they're discovered by the government and forced to live in society. And it's a pretty good story about just people who don't fit into society, and I think you'll enjoy it. 2001: A Space Odyssey is also directed by Stanley Kubrick, the guy who did The Shining, and it's considered by many to be one of the greatest science fiction movies of all time, if not the greatest science fiction movie of all time. It's pretty slow, but if you watch it on a big screen, I guarantee you will be impressed. Kramer vs. Kramer is a story about a custody battle between two parents, and it's just very well written and has a lot of heart. Next is First Man, and that was my favorite movie of last year. It's excellent, it's amazing, it's beautiful, it's a great movie. $1 Million Arm is a movie about a struggling sports agent who decides to go to India to try to find a cricket player to pitch in the major leagues, and it's hilarious. If you are at all interested in India or Indian culture, you'll love this movie. Sully is a movie about the pilot that landed a flight that was going down on the Hudson River and saved everyone on board, and the interesting story that actually happened after that. A lot of people know about the crash, but not a lot of people know about Sully himself, so that's a good, interesting movie to watch. Edge of Tomorrow is a war alien invasion movie with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, and it has a really cool concept. Every time Tom Cruise's character dies, the day starts over. It's kind of like Groundhog Day, but a cool action movie version of that. So I really like that movie. I think you will too if action's your thing. Sticking to the topic of futuristic Tom Cruise movies, we have Oblivion, which is a dystopian future movie. It's kind of has aliens too, but it has a really big twist, has some great action, and it actually has a lot of emotion too. So I really like that movie. The Fugitive stars Harrison Ford and is a really good movie about revenge, being falsely accused, and just it's a cool thriller. The Social Network was written by Aaron Sorkin, who a lot of people consider one of the greatest screenwriters working today, and it turns the story of Facebook being founded into like a psychological thriller, which is very impressive. The dialogue's great, the acting's great, it's super entertaining, and it has Justin Timberlake, so if you're into that. Ocean's 11 is a movie about a group of men who decide to rob a casino, and just the way they execute their plan is really, really cool. It's got a lot of good music and cinematography, pretty stylish movie, but I really enjoyed it. North by Northwest is also directed by Alfred Hitchcock, who did Vertigo, which I talked about earlier, and it's considered by many as to be the greatest spy movie of all time, and I don't disagree with that. It's fantastic, twists and turns everywhere. It's a great watch. If you haven't seen Rocky, see Rocky. October Sky is that one movie your science teacher makes you watch at that period at the end of the year when you have nothing to do, but if you haven't seen it, it stars Jake Gyllenhaal. It's about a boy from a coal mining town who becomes like a rocket scientist. It's a really cool story, and it's a good watch. I love Gattaca. I love this movie so much. It's such a cool concept. Ethan Hawke's in it, and I love Ethan Hawke. It's about the future where genetic engineering is possible, and the society that we live in, and it's such a good movie. Please watch it. Concussion tells the true story of Dr. Bennett Omalu, who discovered the brain disease CTE, which often happens to many NFL football players, and a lot of NFL football players were committing suicide, so this just kind of tells about him taking on the NFL and the whole story there. And I mean, if you have anything to do with football in your life, like you know someone who plays it, you're thinking about playing it, your friends play it, I think you should watch this movie. Gifted is a really heartwarming movie about an uncle raising a niece who is academically gifted and just how their life together goes. And it really has a lot of emotion, and it's a good watch. Lala Land is beautiful. Lala Land is amazing. Lala Land has great music. Lala Land is directed by Damien Chazelle, and Lala Land should be at the top of your watch list. Jack Reacher is a movie with Tom Cruise, a lot of guns, action, and it's great. Life of Pi you've all probably heard of, but for those of you that haven't, it's about a boy that's stuck in the middle of the ocean on a boat with a tiger, and kind of the relationship between man and animal, and it's a really good story. It's worth the watch, and it's beautifully shot. It's a Wonderful Life is that one movie they show every Christmas Eve on that one channel, Turner Classic Movies, I think. I think that's one of the sweetest movies of all time. It makes me cry every time I watch it. It's fantastic. It doesn't even matter that it's black and white. It's just such a beautiful movie, and if you don't cry while watching this, you are a heartless robot. The Crucible is the movie adaptation of that Arthur Miller play you all had to read in school that was probably pretty boring, but the movie is great, has some great writing, amazing acting, and it's just has a powerful message. It's a good watch. 500 Days of Summer is one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's incredible. Zooey Deschanel's incredible. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's cute. You should watch it. It's fantastic. The Prestige is one of the best movies I've ever seen, directed by Christopher Nolan. It's about two magicians who are in a rivalry that just goes on and on and on and kind of spirals out of control, just like the movie does. At the end, it's just insane, and I love it. If you don't know the twist to A Beautiful Mind, you need to watch it immediately and enjoy one of the greatest things you'll ever see. And if you do know the twist, you should still watch it because it's a fantastic movie. Bridge of Spies is another Cold War movie. It's about a prisoner exchange between two captured prisoners, one from the Soviet Union, one from the US. Has great performances. It's a really cool period piece. You should watch it. If We Bought a Zoo doesn't make you cry, I'll personally give you $5. It stars Matt Damon, and it's great. Again, if you haven't seen The Martian, go see The Martian. It's hilarious. Matt Damon's great. Nothing more to say. It's a great movie. I know this movie is worth watching for Heath Ledger's Joker alone, but really, the actual movie itself is, I would say, almost as impressive as that performance. It's a great movie. It's way bigger than Batman. It's got a ton of good messages, and it's a really fantastic achievement that we're gonna be talking about this movie in like 100 years. So it's a great movie. Lion is one of my favorite movies. It's about an Indian boy who gets separated from his family when he's a kid, gets adopted, goes to Australia, and then when he grows up, tries to find his family using Google Earth, I think. Fantastic movie. Makes me cry every time. It's great. Dead Poets Society is so sad, so beautiful. Ethan Hawke, Robin Williams, poetry. Watch it. The Pursuit of Happyness, and yes, happiness is spelled with a Y, is a movie about Will Smith, who's a struggling father, and he's just trying to get a job and provide for his son, who's actually played by Jaden Smith back when he was cute and 4. But it's a fantastic movie. The ending is one of the most powerful endings, and it really teaches you to work hard. I love this movie. Minority Report is a really cool movie with Tom Cruise about a future society which relies on 2 psychics to stop crimes before they happen, and it's really cool. I love this movie. The Tree of Life is one of my probably top 5 movies I've ever seen. It's insanely powerful. It's just a great look at life. It's about a family and how they deal with the death of one of their sons. And this really isn't a movie. It's more of an experience, and it's amazing. Let's just say there's a reason The Shawshank Redemption is the highest rated movie on IMDb of all time. Dunkirk. I love this movie. Christopher Nolan. If you want to experience World War II without building a very expensive time machine and Home Depot, just watch this instead. A lot of people hate NonStop, but I like NonStop. It's an action movie that the whole thing takes place on a plane, and I think it's a really cool concept. And if you like action movies, I think you'll like NonStop. It's Liam Neeson. It's enjoyable. I like this movie. Arrival is such a good movie. It's got an amazing twist. It's so beautiful. It tells a great story. Amy Adams is incredible. Aliens are sick. You should watch this. If you like heist movies, if you like car chases, if you just like cool movies, you should watch The Italian Job. Moonrise Kingdom is directed by Wes Anderson, the guy who did Fantastic Mr. Fox and Isle of Dogs, but this one isn't claymation, it's live action, and it's hilarious, it's quirky. I smile and laugh every time I watch this. It's just a really uplifting movie. If you haven't seen Inception, you should go see Inception. And last but not least, I've seen it 17 times. Watch it right now.